Welcome to CBS Sports Now on CBSN. It was a history-making Wimbledon weekend. Roger Federer won a record 8th Wimbledon title. And joining me now is CBS Sports columnist and host of Reiter Than You, Bill Reiter. Wimbledon did not disappoint. There's news on both the men's and the women's side. Let's start with Federer. How big of a win is this for him?
It's pretty astounding. He won the Australian Open this year, but it had been a very long time that he'd won a Grand Slam before 2017 because tennis players don't achieve much success in their early 30s, let alone their mid-30s. It just reinforces the fact with his 19th record-setting Grand Slam win. He's not just the greatest of all time. There's no end in sight, it seems, to his excellence. It's pretty astounding.
He is 36 years old, which may not sound too old to most of us, but apparently this is ancient in tennis. How long can he continue playing at this level?
The answer should be that he shouldn't be able to do this right now, but we've seen Tom Brady win a Super Bowl almost at age 40. I know we're going to talk about Venus Williams. She's 37. We're seeing this across sports, and talking to Andy Roddick last week and Serena Williams last week, they just stressed the fact that there's so much money and there's such an emphasis now on the science of how to keep your body healthy if there's a lot of money in it for you, if you're a world-class athlete. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I wouldn't be shocked if it's 2 or 3 more years, even though this should have been over 2 or 3 or 4 years ago.
Wow, wow. Venus Williams, also what we would call an older player now, gently put. What does the future look like for her?
It's interesting. Obviously, her sister's been the dominant sister, Serena, for a really long time, but Venus wasn't just extraordinary in her run to the Wimbledon finals. She had a real chance to win this thing, had a chance to actually win the first set, and after she gave up 2 break points to take that set, she sort of fell apart. It was more of a mental collapse, which happens in sports, than a physical collapse. She thinks, and she talked about this, and so did her sister, that she can compete again for a few more years. The answer should be that's impossible, but we're seeing the impossible in sports, so maybe she'll keep doing it.
As you get older, the old adage has it, you become wiser. You could be a better player mentally, even as your physical abilities decline a little bit.
Yeah, and then that was certainly true. It was true for Venus up until that sort of one game that got away from her, and it's a great point because Federer's a guy who didn't have the best stuff in some of the matches leading up, but being Federer, he found ways to win, that sort of seamless backhand. It was a mental strength, a lot of the analysts, and Andy Roddick told me, not just a physical strength that got him there.
Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott had what is being referred to as an incident at a Dallas club. I don't think we're talking about a spilled drink. What happened?
Unfortunately, we're not, and this is a guy who's still under investigation by the NFL for alleged domestic assault a few years ago. That's obviously a big no-no in the NFL now and unacceptable everywhere else. And he had another off-season incident involving a woman and pulling up her shirt at a St. Patrick's Day party. So we don't know. What we know is that a guy who was at this bar went to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The police report doesn't show who allegedly hit him or assaulted him, but Ezekiel Elliott, we think, according to reports, a part of the group that was part of this fracas. So while there's no smoking gun, there's no allegations, the police haven't even released his name as part of the investigation, there's a lot of incidents for a guy that's very important to the Cowboys in a league that finally does not tolerate this kind of behavior.
Bill Reiter, Reiter Than You is the program. Thanks for joining us.
You bet.